Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Soap Scoop. Now, we have possibly one of the most chaotic interviews ever coming up for you with Hollyoaks stars Tamara Wall and Gemma Bissix. You knew them best for Grace Black and Clare Devine. Me and Jonny had a lot of fun talking to them. So let's get you on to that chat first and then back to us for all the soap gossip. Hello and welcome to Soap Scoop, Tamara Wall and Gemma Bissix, otherwise known as Grace Black and Clare Devine. Oh my God. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
How are you both?
We're good. We're
very giddy because we've not seen each other for all of 2 weeks. So we're very giddy.
I've just picked her up from the station. You should have seen it. I've just put it on my stories. I literally ran down the platform to pick you up. The train arrived and I was like, come on. Like, it's literally like long lost loves.
Yeah, exactly.
You've not seen each other since the 30th, have you? So that was a few months ago.
It's like, it's literally less than 14 days away, but it feels like a lifetime.
I know. We can't be away from each other too long. So she's staying at my house tonight. We're in my house. Yeah. And she's come to stay for the weekend. It's so exciting.
Oh God, it's a black family sleepover.
Well, yeah, I want to know. I want to know, what does a weekend with Gem and Tam look like? What do you get up to?
Trouble. That's what it looks like.
She always
Normally
gets
they
injured.
yeah.
She normally gets injured when she comes here. The last time she came, she went down my kid's slide, which is outside. And it was nighttime, so it was in about midnight, wasn't it?
And it was wet.
And she went down, it's like a tube slide, and she cracked her coccyx because she went down and came off the edge of it.
And she just carried on filming and laughing and going, you just went down that like a wet fish.
And then we got the kids' gymnastics equipment, and you did that. That's on my reels, isn't it? And she just got stuck. She was like upside down, like this, going to help me, and I just pushed her off.
So who knows what tonight's adventures will entail?
Yeah, keep an eye on social media because it will be there, and there'll be some fun.
Well, as long as you don't shoot her, that's fine.
We've got a little reel planned.
Yeah, we've
this
got
afternoon.
something planned later that we're going to put up.
Yeah, it might have something to do with Dead Grace.
This is so exciting for us to have you. And the reason why me and Jonny are both on this call is because we had a flat out argument in the office as to who was going to speak to you. So we are both here because we were like, it's just not worth falling out so close to Christmas, was it, Jonny?
No, not at all. And I was channeling my Claire and my Grace as to how to kind of get Laura-Jayne out of the picture somehow. Maybe I was going to steal a toy. Maybe steal a plane so I could come and interview you.
Obviously, you kept it secret from us about what was going to happen in the 30th. We're still in mourning. I could follow the, Grace. How are you both feeling now that the dust has settled and everyone's seen it?
It's just weird, isn't it? Because it doesn't really properly sink in. I mean, the saddest bit is that we won't get to work together again, which is really sad because we had so much fun. But I'm so glad that Grace got to come back and we had that. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. I mean, we've been friends for like over 10 years, and we've had obviously all our funny times at our house, and we have our FaceTimes because Tam lives up north. We have our FaceTimes with a bottle of Prosecco, and it was never really in our sights that we were actually going to work together, because Claire was dead. And so to have that stuff, I mean, you were the first one that read the script. I think it was like in January or something. She rung me up. She goes, there's red nails in the script. Is it you? Is it you? And she was so excited. So we've been so blessed to have that time together. I mean, 6 months is a long time, and we've had some brilliant storylines. And actually, as much as we are in mourning now, we are so grateful we got to work together.
We
never thought that was going to happen.
That was ever going to happen. I mean, you died twice, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So that's been brilliant, and it's made our friendship so much stronger.
We were close anyway, without even really, working together and just meeting at things like awards and charity events and stuff like that. Whereas now we are literally inseparable. I mean, she calls my husband her best friend.
He's my best friend.
She was going to around at the inside soap halls saying to like EastEnders cast, she's going, excuse me, can you stop what you're doing to her?
Stop introducing him as your husband. He is my best friend.
To the point where people were going, so you're not our wife.
Yeah,
and you're not her
somebody
husband,
actually came up to me and went, are they not actually married? I went, oh, no. They are. But obviously, me and Christian are far more important.
She even bought him a pair of pajama bottoms that's got mine and her faces on them, and he wears them regularly. He does wear them regularly. So yeah, it's great. We went on for the half term, we went on a holiday with the girls, and Christian was just walking around in these tracksuit bottoms with Martin and her face on them. It just looks like a super fan.
for Gemma's birthday, I bought her a t-shirt with a picture of me and Christian on it.
Yeah, saying what was it? Best friend extravaganza 2025.
Can we get this as merchandise? Is there any chance these clothing
I
items
think we
will
should
be
be on
available?
sale, obviously.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to
I'll
make
let
some
you know.
merchandise.
I'll
Don't
let
we?
you know.
Have you carried on watching the show since the two of you departed? Because you've both left, and we are missing the sisters in our lives.
Do you know what? I've not watched it because I think it'll make me sad that nobody's talking about Grace. Do you know what I mean?
I know Claire's been mentioned a couple of times.
I know, but I'd be really sad that the fact that, Grace hasn't got a massive big funeral and not the whole village isn't crying.
Because there's quite a lot.
Because-
Yeah, because there hasn't been a funeral actually. They had Perry's funeral, so I've been watching it. Yes, because I am a fan.
She's a baddie, isn't she? So you can't really.
Yeah, but Froggy and Sully, they all turned up to Perry's funeral, but they haven't had a Grace funeral. So all the Black family went to I shouldn't tell her this, should I? They went to Terry's funeral.
That's really rude.
I wonder where Grace's ashes are going to be scattered. That's what we need to know. Maybe she's dead. Maybe she's not dead.
I mean, probably not. I mean, given the
Do you know what? Never say never, because it happens all the time.
I'm living proof. Literally living proof of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like we're missing you both, because they just established the family, bringing Froggy in, and there's another one that's actually turned up on the scene, and all that had just come out with Rex. So I do feel like we are missing you both.
I know, and you're missing the blondes, because that's the thing with Perry's gone. Us two,
there's no
there's no blondes left in it anymore, is there? I think Leela, Leela is she's flying the blonde flag, isn't she?
By the
For everybody, and she is looking fantastic. So we'll leave that with her for now. But you never know. I mean, look, Claire's in prison at the moment. But the thing was, when they wrote the storyline, Claire was going to go to prison. That was always the thing. I didn't tell you guys, but obviously it was only a 6-month stint for a bit.
Have you gone to prison?
I am in prison. Well, I've been arrested, but it was supposed to be arrested for shooting Tony. Then when they decided Grace was going to die, now I'm actually in prison for murder. So I don't know how Claire's going to get out. I mean,
So what should happen? It's like in a few years' time, I should get you out, like the big escape.
yeah,
I turn out to be alive.
There you go.
I come in, do the big escape somehow, disguise myself as like a prison guard or something, get you out, and then
Or
we
you
have
just
a
end up in
spin-off
prison.
show.
No, you just end up in prison for doing something.
Yeah, and then
we
we
can
have
a
a
spin-off
spin-off
show
in prison.
Great. That's it. We worked
Bad
it all out.
girls. It's the bad girls.
Black is the
spin-off.
new black.
Yeah, instead of orange is the new black, black is the new black. We've done it.
Yeah, it's done. Channel 4, it's done.
Yeah, I think we've also just figured out the 40th anniversary storyline, because that could be your return.
Exactly. I might
You know what, I was-
to work before that.
I want to talk about Grace, because I feel like obviously it was controversial at the end because she was involved in this very serious storyline with the exploitation. But I remember, and I know Jonny will remember this as well, that when Grace was first brought into the show by Brian Kirkwood, we did a chat with him at the time, and he said, I've got this new villain coming in. She's worse than her dad. She's she's all of this. And I feel like in the end, even though she did do some really bad things, that was Hollyoaks going back to the root of the character. And I know it wasn't it wasn't popular with fans that had grown to love her, but equally, those she started off really bad back in the day. So
I think when Hannah and I first spoke about the storyline, about the sex trafficking, we always said it was going to be touching a nerve, and it was not ever going to go down well. So we knew there was always a chance that Grace was never going to get redeemed from this. But I think I'm glad that they used Grace to tell the storyline, because I think people took it in more because they were invested in her as a character. They watched it more, and I think it was far more believable with someone
And they did really well with the thing of talking about what happened to Grace with Fraser and things, and actually what happened to her, because actually really in real life, Hollyoaks are so good at touching on raw subjects and on subjects that are really out there, with the sibling abuse, and actually people that do the abusing or do these bad things are normally come from something that's happened to them themselves. So, you definitely got that thing. And what I must say is, because obviously with me playing Claire, I've only ever really been in for 6 months at a time or 7 months or whatever. You've got to take your hat off to Grace Black, who's been a villain and has been in the show for 12 years because the fans have absolutely adored her. So, and it gets to a point where I suppose there has to be some kind of comeuppance.
Yeah, exactly.
I've actually loved how much the fans have been gutted about it, because then it makes her realise how much she was loved.
Oh.
Because I didn't like her seeing stuff, and people were, because the thing is with social media now, there's like a third director. You know, it's we have to listen to those things, and it's hard as actors because you watch it. I mean, you read them, and it does hit a nerve, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
of course it does, because you're used to people saying lovely things about Grace, and then all of a sudden, you know, they were saying terrible things about Grace, and rightfully so,
Because I was doing terrible things.
she was doing terrible things. And
Yeah.
I totally understand that. But like you say, she ended up going back to being the person that she started off. And how many villains get to say they've spent 12
years.
solid years?
Yeah, she's shot
being a
people.
liked character.
She's killed her own brothers and stuff. But whatever, did you do something like that?
Yeah, I killed 2 of my brothers.
Well, that's what I mean. And she didn't get any coffins for
I
that.
remember when I saw one of my brothers out the stair. Do you remember that?
Was that Liam? Was that Liam in the basement?
They had a different surname, Donovan, and I said, I'm not a Donovan, I'm a Black, and I let him go and it fell down the stairs.
This is what I mean. And you got redeemed for so many things like that it's just got to a point.
He wasn't a nice brother, though, to be fair. Okay, he had it coming.
Tam, who did you shoot?
Got the Prosecco.
Yes. Tam, you shot somebody.
Because we're not lurking now. We can have a drink on a Friday.
Tam, who did you shoot in the face on that train? It's coming back to me because you've killed so many people.
That was my brother's fiance.
The under.
Well, she's not a nice person either.
No, she was not a nice person either. What was her name?
I remember this, Johnny.
Okay, wasn't she a nice?
It was Maxine. It was, I tell you, it was the brother that then got recast.
Yes, it was
Do you remember?
Liam's love interest, but she was bad. She was out to get you, and she was
Yes.
not nice.
That was
All in the face on a chain.
That was one of my favourite shots. That when you see the 2 feet getting off the train, and then she walked, and you just see this hood down, and then she lifted her head up and just smiled. She walked away, and she'd shot this girl.
You got away with quite a lot.
Well, yeah, but again, she was not a nice person. You know, Grace only did these things out of love. Do you know what I mean?
Just a murderer out of love. Do you think the real justice system would see it that way? Do you?
Well, they obviously did, because I stayed out of prison for a while.
Gem, you got to ask you, like, coming back as Claire, you gave us everything in that time that you were back. It was like the full Death Becomes Her by the end of it. Eat your heart out, Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, when you got out of the water, she sent me a text that night saying that's your favourite film.
Death Becomes Her is actually my favourite film, and Goldie Hawn and Meryl Streep were the reason I wanted to become an actor. So it's really funny how it's been like a real full circle moment for me, because there's been a lot of depth to Claire in these last 6 months, with the stuff with Grace and digging into their childhood and stuff. And actually, when I did Hollyoaks Unwrapped, Kieran was asking me about stuff, and in the last few weeks, Clare Devine really came back as her, didn't she? It was the campness, it was the red lipstick, it was the heels, it was the heel going into the Hollyoaks sign was best.
Brilliant.
Do you know how chuffed we are, both of us, to be so featured in the 30th? It's such a, privilege, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
We have lived and breathed this show. Even though I haven't been in it for 12 years before I came back, I'm a massive fan, of all the soaps. And it's just so great. Look at me. I've got my Hollyoaks sign behind here. I've got, hang on. I've got my EastEnders sign here. That's even got my name on it. I've actually got one from 2000. Hang on, where is it? Can you get that down there? This was from 1999.
See, now you're just showing off now.
I've got to get this redone though, because look, it's really faded. So I've got to get it redone. But I've got two.
I've got two. But
you know what?
I've got 2 Hollyoaks signs because I left twice. So how's that?
Gemma,
Because there's so many leaving parties. The same with me. Where people don't want to do them for us anymore.
I've got to say, actually, I was going to Tamara. Obviously, Gemma has done EastEnders brilliantly. I think I could see Tamara in EastEnders for sure.
I was in EastEnders years ago.
What did you play?
That's mate, weren't you?
Tina Quinn. Yeah. Look it up. Honest to God, she was the right character. She used to walk around in thigh-high white boots.
Well, this is what I mean. I think that Claire should go back to EastEnders to see Nigel, and then Tamara comes back as Martina what's-her-face, and then we actually end up working together again, just as completely different characters. I think it's a brilliant idea. I know you see, listening. Yeah, if you're listening, EastEnders. No, so when you see, actually, there's a couple of posts. I think EastEnders put up a happy birthday Hollyoaks thing, and there was a few things in the comments saying Tamara Wall needs to go to EastEnders. Imagine if we ended up back together again in EastEnders, just in a different fashion. I think they should do it.
That'd be brilliant.
Oh my God, I actually think that Tamara could be a relative of Nicola Mitchell, because That do you agree, Jonny?
I can definitely see that. I think because Nicola Mitchell is kind of the new kind of icy, feisty blonde, hard relate from you two on the square. She's she's talking about
Mitchell, definitely.
it's about a sister. She's talked about a sister, and there's been a bit of
I want to own the pub though.
yeah. Well, you can
Do you want to run the bit?
She'll be the new Barbara Windsor. Can you imagine that? Get out my pub.
Barbara Windsor with her gun.
Me.
Yeah, Barbara Windsor. God rest her soul.
Do you know Barbara Windsor was the person? She got me and my agent when I left EastEnders at 15. She was incredible. I still speak to Scott, but on and off. But like, she was a mentor to me when I was on the show. And then she got me my agent, and she always kept in touch and was always, because I was so young when I was in it. And I think she was the reason that I'm quite professional, that I learned my lines, and because she was, the matriarch of the show. And if you didn't know your lines, you were.
You're very professional. Thanks. Very.
I make you more professional, don't I?
She definitely does.
Yeah.
She tell me off for laughing.
But this one can learn lines. You go on set, and it's not in an unprofessional way. She just gets there and she has to feel it all. She learns lines like that. I mean, that is something like I've never known before. She can learn chunks that are that big. She just reads it in the rehearsal, and she's like, yeah, got it.
You're done. Can't remember what I did yesterday.
No, she can't.
And I can remember what I've done years ago, but not what I did yesterday.
Yeah. Honest to God.
You made a promise to us that we could host your Inside Soap Awards even if we weren't in Hollyoaks. So
Yes.
does that still stick?
Listeners, if you are listening to this, which of course you are, just to give you the backstory, Tam and Gem came to the Inside Soap Awards and they very kindly introduced our esteemed editor, Sarah Ellis, who would also love to be here because she loves you guys. And they introduced her on stage, and it was the best little introduction we've ever had at the Inside Soap Awards, because the whole room, if you can imagine a room full of lovely actors, showbiz people, everyone in that room, they just all fell silent and just completely listened to Gem.
We did shut them up, didn't we?
Well, we are like a comedy duo. She's the funny one and I'm the straight one. And that's how it works. If you've ever had like little, and not say we're little and large, because I don't know who's going to be little and who's going to be large. But, and that kind of thing. We have got that comedy element. So we would love to host your Inside Soap Awards, regardless of where our jobs are at next year. And I hope you can we're going to hold you to it, Laura, please.
You are absolutely 100% always welcome at that party, and we would love to have you on that stage.
I love that. Oh no! Look, we've got.
Talking of hosting, can I just put something in here? About hosting? So we really hope that you guys are going to work together again, maybe in EastEnders, who knows? What about, because there's 2 jobs going at the BBC, Tess and Claudia, could you
I know.
Strictly?
How good would we be on Strictly?
Oh my God, wouldn't we be the best? She's a West End star, so she actually knows all the dances. I mean, there's not enough room to do the splits here.
Johnson.
Keep dancing.
We'd smash that.
We would absolutely smash that.
Although I do think I'd love to see Alan Carr do it. I think he would be brilliant. I think Alan. How about? Did you watch the Traitors final?
Yeah, I cried my eyes out.
I absolutely bawled my eyes out because I tell you for one. So I've been watching it with my fiance, the whole thing, like glued to it. It's the only thing that he ever watches at like normal telly. And when Alan got told that he was a traitor, my fiance looked at me and he went, "That's like you being a traitor. That is, you and Alan Carr are like the same person. He's never going to get out in the first week." And then every show, I was just looking at my fiance and going, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, yeah."
I was so chuffed for him.
So when he won, it was literally bawling my eyes out, and when he cried as well, and you could tell he really felt
that was genuine.
Yeah, and how all of the other cast just loved him. I just thought the whole thing was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I think as well, it was the moment that the other 2, Nick and David, cuddled.
I know
him.
what. Yeah,
I know. You were like, no, you've done it for your charity. You've done it for your charity. They were like, I know.
Honest to goodness,
I thought it was great,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
We do often say that our Jonny Hughes is the Alan Carr of the Inside Soap Office because he's very funny. And
You agreed.
100%.
Agreed. I couldn't actually. That is brilliant. Now
I think it's terrible traitor, but then that's what a traitor would say, as Alan has proved. So watch this space, lady. You can trust
And
me.
also, I know Johnny said about you hosting Strictly, but also we were saying like you girls could have your own podcast. Like I'd choose.
We have been talking about doing a little podcast. We just need to work out
What it's going to be
what it's
based
going to be based on because we're a big fan of a quiz.
We love a quiz
We
together.
love like a general knowledge.
You wouldn't think it. We're
Right.
actually quite smart in certain things, but useless information though.
So we're thinking we might do like a podcast come pub quiz kind of thing.
Yeah.
And have like different people competing with us.
We also want to write something as well. So we believe there isn't enough sort of female comedy anymore. So we're like a birds of a feather, you know, like that. And having like husbands that we need to choose a husband to like cover up our crimes. You know, I say, oh, I like the look of him. And she'd say, well, he's not a widow. Well, we can make him a widow, you know, that kind of idea. And everything just goes wrong and a bit like Ab Fab.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's what we've, you know, we would love to do something like that. So it's not the end of us two because I love working together. And I think, you know, as you can see, we've never known. We both talk so much. We both got such strong personality, but we've never argued.
Never once. We've never had a bad.
We talk over
Bad
each other, but we allow each other the space and we respect each other so much, don't we?
Yeah.
And
And
actually,
we're proud of each other.
someone like her would normally really annoy me and vice versa. But for some reason she doesn't, and I don't know why.
Because I annoy my fiance every day.
But I annoy my husband. He thinks that he's like, he loves it when you come round because he gets a bit of space. He's like, just take her. Please, just take her for the weekend.
That's exactly what Gareth says.
Yeah.
When I came down today, he was like, how long are you going for? Tell Gemma she can keep you as long as she wants.
So are you literally spending the weekend together? Amazing. Honestly, it's such a joy. And me and Johnny were speaking earlier, and we were also saying like we can see the two of you maybe in like a new remake of like Dynasty or something like that.
We've definitely got to do something together. Like we've had so many comments and people messaging us saying, you two have got to do something else
Yeah,
together.
agreed.
You work so well together. And even when we're just out and about, like we were when we were on location doing the aeroplane thing at the airfield.
Oh, she was trying to get flying lessons this way, and she was chatting to everybody. I mean, seriously, but this is
Desperate to learn how to fly. But we were at their canteen, the lunch bit,
yeah.
and I can't remember what we were talking about. I was trying to work out
Oh, and the guy behind the thing, so he
lamb or beef or something like that. And the guy behind the counter went, you two are like a comedy double act.
Yeah.
And that was just us being normal, just talking about.
But also, we like, when we go out together socially, like we're going to go to the pub, probably go to the pub tonight, whatever. We're really good. Both of us, you know, we talk to the fans and stuff. I don't want to say fans, like, you know, but we talk to people.
Like,
Fans. But no, but we really enjoy talking to people about what we do. You know, there's nothing stuck up about us.
Isn't that right? I've got the idea for you girls. Will Mellor, another Hollyoaks graduate, Will Mellor and his mate Ralph Lissinsky were a show, and they do different challenges every week. And like they learned to drive a tank, and they like went spend the night in a haunted house, like different challenges, starting with flying a plane.
that is
Johnny, you've done it.
That is a brilliant idea.
What challenges would you like to do apart from flying the plane? Is there like a, you know, like a extreme sport challenge or something that you'd like to both have a go at?
I'd like to drive a single-seater race car.
Yeah, I'd like to learn how to bobsleigh.
Who says that?
Why?
Who says I would like to learn how to bobsled?
Because the sense of Cool Runnings, that was one of my favourite films.
But who says that?
But I'd watch, you know what? I wouldn't watch Gemma Bissix learns to
Race bobsled ride at Blackpool Beach. Have you been on that?
No.
That's one of my favourite rides there because it feels like you're going to come off.
She wants to learn how to drive a truck. That's what she was actually
Oh
saying.
no, I'm honest to God. That's
HGV
a
license.
serious thing. I want to learn how to get to drive a truck because I watched this guy on Instagram and he's a truck driver and he does really long. Do you remember Long Distance Clara? Do you remember Pigeon Street?
I've only had a sip.
He drives a big truck on big long journeys and then he has like his rest nights where he stays out.
You just want
like
a little cabin bit.
Yeah, and he has a cabin in the back with a PlayStation and a little air fryer, and you watch him cook his meals, and it plays PlayStation and watch a movie. And that I'm like, this is brilliant. I just get to be me on the road driving a massive truck. Then I stop, play my game on the PlayStation, have my chips in the air fryer. I mean, what is there not to love?
Oh,
about that?
speaking of this, she came up on the train today. She's bought herself.
Don't joke. It's the best thing I've ever bought.
She's bought herself an electric lunchbox. So she made herself scrambled eggs, bacon, and stuff, and sausages
Last
last
night.
night. Stuck it in this thing, and she plugged it in on the train and heated up her breakfast this morning on the train. She's nuts.
And you know what I was
Absolutely
most
nuts.
gutted about was that the carriage was empty, and I really wanted someone to see me heating up my breakfast and go, "Oh, what's that?" And then I could have shown them my fancy electric bag.
That is actually amazing.
Your face right now was exactly her face when I was
like
that. She was like that.
No, but it's genius because the
Isn't it though?
No, because when we travel up to see you lovely soaps in the north, right? So we're on a train for 2.5 hours, and you're very limited in your breakfast options. And
Yes, they've no breakfast options, just a
So I
BAT
made
sandwich.
myself a really lovely breakfast. I had bacon, scrambled eggs, sausages, grilled tomatoes, all in put in the thing, plugged it in on the plug on the train, heated up within like 6 minutes. Perfect. I mean, you could smell it coming out on the carriage.
Okay, I've got another idea. They're coming thick and fast, girls. My next idea is the
Go.
podcast. The podcast that you're going to do, you have it over like some food and you call it Gem and Tam's Electric Lunchbox.
Mate, see, we could put different things in the electric
We had
box.
we had some different names for our podcast. We had tea and biscuits.
no tea and Bisks.
Oh, tea and Bissix, not tea and biscuits.
That's the
thing.
fun.
Oh, that's
on
the pun.
words.
Oh,
It's not tea and biscuits.
Sorry.
It's tea and Bisks.
tea and Bissix, and then also
G&T.
G&T. If it's the afternoon ones, if it's after midday, you know.
oh my God, I think everybody listening, all of these ideas have been born. We just need someone to make them.
Just please have them. Well, if the viewers are watching this right now and you've got any ideas,
Send them our way.
chuck us a DM.
Yeah, drop us a DM.
Let us know your ideas, and then we'll see if we can make it happen.
Absolutely. We've got a bit of time off now, so we're
We've got plenty of time on our hands.
Well, you know what? It's Christmas soon. What are you both doing? Are you going to see each other over Christmas? What are you doing?
Obviously, I'm intending to spend most of Christmas here. I'm honest. So because I'm from here originally.
yeah. So she lives in this area. So we're in Surrey. Well, I'm in Hersham, but we're Weybridge. She lived.
We were born in the same.
We were born in the same hospital, in Chertsey Hospital. So she comes to visit family down here as well as coming to see.
How mad is that? Our passports say the same thing. How weird is that? So yeah, I'll obviously be down here seeing my family anyway. So yeah,
You'll be seeing so much more of me.
I can't wait.
Well, anybody that's watching and listening to this now, I'm sure just from seeing how much fun we've had in the last 30 minutes, how much these girls are just absolute solid gold, and we love them. And we're sorry that you're not in Hollyoaks anymore, but like we say, there's room for Claire to come back, and in a couple of years' time, maybe Grace will rise. Maybe maybe that's they were blanks in that gun, and in the hospital it was just all fudged so that she could get out of there and
Escape.
in jail. We will see. The current Black family have got a lot to live up to, kind of flying the flag without you in the show, and we do miss you. But thank you so much for talking.
No, thank you for having
us. Yeah, we love Soap Scoop. It's so good.
Jonny, I don't know about you, but actually I do know because we got on the phone straight after we spoke to Gem and Tam. We needed a lie down in the best possible way because that was one of the most fun interviews. Are you still reeling from the electric lunchbox?
The electric lunchbox don't, because it'll set me off. You know, when you have a big night out and you look back and you keep laughing about mad things that happen, that's what that interview was like. I just keep lolling to myself. And I can't find an electric lunchbox. So if any listeners, readers, viewers out there could let me know where I can get one, please.
Have you not just popped on the Amazon?
Couldn't find one.
You what?
Yeah, couldn't find one. I don't know where Tamara's getting them. So yeah, but also I think it's triggering because I think every time I see it, I'm just going to collapse in hysterics. How did you feel? Like, because yes, as you say, we had to call each other, just say how much fun it was. And we needed a bit of a lie down because it was so crazy. What's your moment? Mine is the lunchbox.
Just the general fun of it. Clearly, the two of them need to carry on working together. The energy between them is fantastic. I mean, Strictly host, you heard it here.
Keep dancing. They did such a great job, didn't they, at the Inside Soap Awards? I think that was their audition, as was this interview we just watched.
And I love how much they care about their characters and clearly care about each other. It's almost like they're sisters in real life. And I love some of the funny social media videos they've been doing. So do get on Gem's Instagram if you want to see that. But yeah, no, thank you girls so much. You are welcome on Soap Scoop anytime at the Inside Soap Awards and indeed in our magazine.
In our lives, you know, around our houses, for Christmas dinner, New Year's Eve party around my house. Like, please, girls, you're always welcome.
Now we're going to move on to the soap spoilers of the week. Now we want to touch quickly on this evolving storyline in Emmerdale with Bear and Celia and everything that's going on up at the farm. Those episodes where we just watch poor little Eve spot Bear and then have to think that she didn't really see him. Oh, Jonny, I didn't like it.
It's ruined. We're going on a bear hunt for any child ever. I think it's just so trauma inducing. I was really, heart went out to Eve. There's so many moments of this story. You're doing that though, aren't you? You're going like, oh, no, it's so kind of heartbreaking. But I think the fact that it was the first time we've kind of seen someone in the actual Emmerdale maybe get a little hint of what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Because Bear's obviously been very self-contained, and you just thought, oh my gosh, please. I want Eve to be the superhero. I want her to be the next Emmerdale Avenger and go and save him.
I just can't believe that no one else spotted him though. Like, you know, that moment where you saw how close they actually were, and then Celia's waving over to Moira and Paddy, and those people are just moving around the farm. I mean, maybe that was the day that Bear had the dodgy arm and wasn't out. You know what I mean? Like, how's no one seen him?
These people are clever. Well, it's only Eve, like I say. Eve's the one. Eve's the key to this whole thing. But yeah, really, really shocking stuff. Really dark. And, you know, I want to say I can't wait for more. Makes me sound like a weirdo. But you know what I mean? I want to see where this story goes. But I'm really hooked on it.
Yeah, me too. I think the story is brilliant. I mean, I love Emmerdale on all counts at the moment. I think it's firing on all cylinders. But
all the cylinders and more, definitely.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I know Chloe outed me for kind of having a little bit of a crush on Ray. But
what?
Not
what? Sorry, what? This is what happens when I'm not on the podcast. These awful revelations come out. Really? Nasty Ray?
Sorry, so let me explain. I think it's because I just really love Joe Absolom's performance. I think bear in mind, we know Joe for Matthew Rose in EastEnders when he was, you know, treated so terribly by awful Steve Owen. But I think to the role of Ray, Joe Absolom brings a bit of Steve Owen energy to it. So,
definitely. He is the roles are reversed, haven't they? He's the Steve, he's the nasty manipulator.
Yeah, and so I'm getting a bit of that. So there's nostalgia. But then also I think there's so many levels and so many things that can be done with Ray's character. Spoiler alert, I was on a cheeky interview with him. It wasn't just me and him, thank mercy for him, because the poor man. But it was a group of journalists, and I put in one of my questions was, don't ever let Joe go, because I really love the performance, and I think that's the reason, because he's such this awful character. He's really, really nasty, but then he takes a call from his mum, and he's like, oh, hello, mum, and because he'd clearly been groomed by Celia.
You get that vulnerability, don't you, actually coming out, and there's flashes of it, and Joe Absolom does play it brilliantly, and not too much, just enough to make you think he's a victim too. Somewhere in all this, he's been a victim too. So yeah, it is interesting. I think you just fancied Matthew Rose in 1998. Should we just say that?
No, I didn't though. I was more for Steve Owen.
You were aiming high.
Joe, that's one of the reasons I'm tuning into the jungle this year, is because Martin Kemp is in there. I've interviewed Martin before. He is the nicest man, almost otherworldly. Like, just so nice to chat to, and he was touring with Spandau Ballet at the time that I interviewed him, so he wasn't even in EastEnders, so he probably did not have time to be speaking to us, but he found time in that amazing busy schedule of a tour, and I just really like him, as of course I do Shona McGarty and Lisa Riley. Big up the Soapies.
Big up the Soapies, come on.
Yes, but what I was going to say is that the thing with Ray is that I think there's a redemption arc in there. It might be a long way off, but the fact that he's like slowly getting to know Laurel.
I'm worried about Laurel. I think Laurel could be in danger. Anyone connected with Celia and Ray is like in the danger zone, as it were. So I do worry about Laurel. Like, she's gonna.
I think that Ray is going to fall in love with Laurel and all her amazing, brilliant qualities, and is then going to want to come away from that awful life with Celia, and it will be this tussle between Celia and Laurel as to who, and then Ray is gonna have to think about changing his ways. So that's how he stays in the village, even though he's done.
If you pitch this,
well, if Emmerdale are listening, please do. Right, so we'll move on from Emmerdale because, like I say, this story has got a script and we could talk about it all day. I would like to talk about Coronation Street, Swarla, as always, because We have had some really amazing comments on our YouTube from some of the theories that we've been discussing. And there's one that I'd really like to shout out from Joey B is me. Now, Joey says, I've been thinking this for a while now, and I keep flipping between the two. Kit is either a plant from police internal investigations to root out Costello and corruption, or a mole from a gang, maybe a rival faction, to find what Becky and Costello stole. Kit's behaviour is too calculated all the time. I love this theory. Thank you, Joey. What do you reckon, Jonny?
I love this theory. Are we in for another flashback to Kit's life? You know, we flash back to when he was a teenager, played by Tony and Diane's son. All of this could work, couldn't it? I quite like him being internal affairs. Instinctively, I think I could really see that, because he does love the job and he does get a power trip out of being a copper. I don't think Kit's like, you know, corrupt and nasty, but I think he'd be a great, like, AC-12 type. Why haven't we thought of this? Because he is so calculating and he's so manipulative and so shady. Yeah. Oh, I like this. It's got legs longer than Kit.
I love this theory from Joey. So thank you very much. If anybody else listening, especially the Swarla stuff, because I feel like
keep them coming.
Keep them coming. We get so many opinions from you all. At the moment, you're all a bit cross with Lisa, and I can kind of understand that because, you know, and actually coming up, I mean, it is going to get to the point where Carla calls it quits with Lisa. And you can understand, because when your dead ex is letting themselves into your house every 5 minutes and your other half's just going, oh, well, you know, it's a bit...
You know what it's like? We've all been there, haven't we, LJ?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
People let that happen.
I mean, and Carla is Carla. She doesn't stand for any nonsense. So she is like, get out. And actually, she's like, no, I'm leaving. Actually, I've had enough of this. She's had enough of this storyline. She's already flicking through to May next year's plots. So, yeah, if you've got any theories or anything you want us to talk about on here, then please keep commenting on the YouTube, because we will shout out. I loved that one from Joey. So thank you very, very much. Now, another mystery we want to move on to in Corrie is, what did Maggie see in Ken Barlow's sideboard that left her so horrified? We've seen some reports in the press that Maggie has potentially got a killer past, and I know some theories have been doing the rounds. I mean, someone said here in the office, oh, what if she is yet another person that could be responsible for Susan Barlow's death? I don't know, because Billy's kind of responsible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm responsible for Susan Barlow's death. You're responsible for Susan, but Celia in Emmerdale, Celia's dog in Emmerdale is responsible for Susan Barlow's death. Surely they're not going to rehash that again. I feel that's kind of done. Do you think it's Barlow connected? Like there's a link between the Barlows and the Driscolls?
What could he possibly have inside there? Is it like a rotting stuffed marrow that Deirdre left behind just as a special gift? And maybe she saw that.
Oh, can't I put something in me will? I don't know. I hope not. That would be quite disgusting. But it would explain the facial expression, though.
I know, but otherwise, she's got to have seen a picture or an object, like someone she recognises in the sideboard.
Yes. It's got to be that, isn't it? I don't know. Peter Barlow is off at the moment. Whenever Peter goes off, you know, for years at a time, or stints away from Weatherfield, you kind of feel like, what's he up to? Peter's a bit of a bloke. He's a bit of a dog, isn't he? Maybe it's Peter Barlow. I feel like there's enough backstory that you could fill in gaps of Peter's time away from Weatherfield. Maybe that's who she saw and she recognises. And he sails all over the gaff, didn't he? Like in his boat. Maybe he went to Ireland, met Maggie years ago. Maggie's already met like Neil Diamond and all these celebrities, because she's telling these stories, doesn't she, of when she met famous people. And Eva goes, oh, here we go again. So maybe it's Peter Barlow.
What, you think Maggie had a thing with Peter Barlow?
Or knows him, or there's a connection. I don't know. It could be a marrow. I don't know. I want to know.
Okay, well, we'd also like to invite theories as to what Maggie might have seen in...
Marrows or men. Bring it on, please, please.
Right, we need to move on to EastEnders, because Cindy is going to get pushed down the stairs by the mysterious Jasmine, who we haven't quite worked out who she is connected to, and get knocked unconscious. Now, Jonny, take us through the survival rate of Cindy Beale, because, I mean, I assume that she's going to survive this fall.
Well, I hope so, yeah. So Cindy was dead for 25 years, right? Except she wasn't, we know that. She survived death. That's pretty big. She also got whacked round the head with a shovel by Kathy last Christmas. She survived that. She's going to be pushed down the stairs. Someone needs soap character health and safety training. Someone in a high-vis tabard needs to take Cindy Beale through how to get herself out of these situations where she's constantly being, I don't know, pushed everywhere, whacked around the head, murdered in prison, except she wasn't, but anyway. Is this huge karma from 1996 when she arranged to have Ian Beale shot, despite the fact, Ian Beale is not he's not everyone's favorite person. Yeah, I don't know. Cindy needs to just stay home, lock the door, put the kettle on. Keep out of trouble, Cindy, please.
I think they brought back Cindy from witness protection, but with a disclaimer that's like, you will have every inch of your skull battered.
Yeah, every 9 to 12 months. She can survive anything. So yeah, you can do what you like to her.
To be honest, I remember we spoke about this at Christmas. Like, neither of us could actually fathom the idea that anyone could be bothered to leave their cozy home on Christmas Day to batter Cindy over the head with a spade.
Well, isn't it? Because you've got, you put your feet up after lunch. Because it was dark, wasn't it, when she got hit over the head? Who goes out when it gets dark at 3:30 on Christmas Day? Got your feet up strictly. You call the midwife. You wait for EastEnders, obviously. You're not going to want to put your boots on and grab a shovel. So, yeah, ridiculous.
Well, Jasmine may well learn her lesson that you can do what you want to Cindy Beale, but she will just get back up again.
She's a survivor, as Destiny's Child said. That woman, she's a survivor. She's not going to give up.
You got any more theories on who Jasmine is? I know we discussed the idea that she's part of the Fords.
I'm still thinking Fords, although this, I don't know, there just does seem to be more kind of shadiness in Jasmine, like she's actually quite dangerous. Maybe she's connected to Maggie Driscoll and has her picture in Ken Barlow's sideboard. I don't know.
Maybe she's a secret agent of Celia's, because Easterdale, let's make it happen.
Let's go for the triple. Let's have it all interacted.
I actually said that a few weeks ago. There was an image of like Ravi and Oki from EastEnders, like just kind of leaning up against the railings of the square. And then there was another image of Celia kind of stood at her fence with some shades on, looking out yonder. And I thought, is this the true extent of Celia's drugs network? As it extends to Walford?
It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. Yeah.
Well, I hope it doesn't extend to Walford, because I think poor Harry actually is still suffering from the consequences of what went on when he was chained to a bed, or indeed a radiator, for 72 days. And that's going to continue. I mean, Teddy, can we just talk about Teddy?
The last you've seen of Teddy? I'm really sad about that. I feel like we hadn't seen Teddy for ages. Then he does this huge act of heroism. Kind of takes the rap for something, really bad, and just to keep his son out of prison and protect him. Is he gone? Is that it? I want to know.
I mean, it doesn't look good for him. It looks like he's going to go down for murder. Even Richie was a bit like, oh, yeah.
Well, I feel like Richie was a bit like, got a plane to catch, so I got to go shopping. I don't think Richie was fully invested in this case. I don't think Phil's paid her enough.
No, she just finished dealing with something else, didn't she? And then she just popped into Teddy like it was at the end of her round.
It was a bit like, oh, could you just do this as well? Like, okay.
Well, look, all I'll say is that if Teddy is leaving our screens, what a terrible waste of an amazing collection of knitwear, because he's not going to get to wear that on the inside.
He won't ever be the same.
No, but I genuinely, though, I'd come to really like him and Nicola. I believed that bonkers relationship. So if he is going down, that is sad. Maybe he'll bump into Kirat in prison, who obviously took... Yeah. Maybe they can bond over taking the rap for family members who killed people.
Rap club. They're going to start rap club in prison. That would be nice. Little spin-off.
Maybe we should write a tune now to go with rap club. We'll go away. We'll make a rap.
Send in your raps, viewers.
Send in your raps. But that's all from us today. We've had a whistle-stop tour around the soaps, but as we said, please do write into us. We love sharing your theories, and we will be back next week with another lovely interview and a bit of answer from us.